The newest gay bar in D.C. is starting the new year shrouded in controversy. We first told you how employees complained about working without compensation at Rush Bar and Lounge. The business at 14th and U Street opened less than a month ago, but more employees are now coming forward saying that they still have yet to get paid. Matthew Torres is joining us live outside of that bar. And Matthew, you spoke with the owner who says that he still does not have the money to pay everyone.
Yeah, and Jackson Mosley says the current employees are now getting paid, but hourly instead of their promised salary. We still have employees who've either been terminated or about to get fired who say they still have not gotten a paycheck. But despite what D.C. law says, Mosley says those people are not his #1 priority.
Rush Bar is the newest gay bar in D.C., celebrating the new year with a promotion that customers do not have to tip. The business model, a salary and a competitive benefits package for employees.
We were sold on the vision, and unfortunately, it ended up being snake oil.
But employee Chris Williams says despite helping open the bar, he still has not gotten paid. WSA 9 first reported on similar complaints last week. December 15th was supposed to be payday, but nothing. To this day, there is still that question, where is the money?
I didn't get to celebrate Christmas. You know, my fridge is empty. At least tell me a plan. You know what I mean?
If you can tell them, when are they going to get paid? What's your answer?
I wish I knew. I certainly wouldn't have hired a lot of these people and told them we were going to pay them if I knew the funds were there.
Owner Jackson Mosley first said payments are being delayed because of payroll issues, but he's now blaming the investors who he claimed froze funds meant for payroll as the bar slowly builds revenue. Mosley tells WSA 9 his theories, but ultimately he admits the money is not there.
Wouldn't they want you to succeed if they're putting the money in?
You would think they are there to pay those first 3 months of payroll. It's absolutely absurd to think that I would just have revenue funds available.
What, for you internally, are you taking accountability for?
I'm taking accountability for not having a backup plan, quite frankly.
Mosley is accused of firing workers for speaking out about the pay issue, but he claims these firings were not retaliatory but based on performance and alleged misconduct, something the workers deny. But D.C. law says no matter the reason, they are still owed all earned wages by the next working day.
The law is the law, yes, and there are penalties associated with that. And ultimately, we'll have to eat those penalties. I would rather pay these employees that are working and that have been professional.
Mosley says he's now able to pay the current employees, who he calls loyal, hourly, acknowledging he might have to backfill to meet their salary. But he's stressing everyone else will eventually get paid as long as customers show up to help boost revenue. But the uncertainty has already become a nightmare.
The emotional distress I've been going through, the financial damage I've been going through.
And Chris Williams, that you saw right there, says that he was not on the schedule nor received a termination letter. But after we reached out, Mosley now telling me that Williams is no longer an employee but has yet to be notified about that news. In the meantime, we have reached out to a couple of investors to get comment, but Larry, we have not heard back.
Matthew, before we let you go, we understand that there have been other issues at that bar over the last month as well. What else has come up, and what can you tell us about the investors?
Yeah, so the pay issues, really, that's just on top of what we know from last month, where the liquor license at this business was suspended by the city over what they're calling a bounce check that eventually was renewed days later. Mosley was disputing that claim it was a bounce check, saying it was more administrative issues.
All right, a lot going on at this club, outside of the club as opposed to inside. All right, Matthew Torres, we appreciate the insight. Thank you so much.